Good afternoon, Ms. Bridgewater.
Good afternoon.
Okay. And the SAP reset date is when?
The 16th of
Okay.
July.
Thank you. We're a little early. We'll get started when everyone joins us. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Are we able to go ahead and start with the Alpharetta Jail while we wait for courtroom 2?
Alpharetta Jail is ready, Judge, whenever you are.
Okay, thank you. Who do we have there?
Here's the board.
Who's representing Ms. Boyd this afternoon?
I am, Your Honor.
Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Ty.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ms. Boyd. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by. You've been charged in case 24 CR 004317E with battery family violence. Is there a history, Mr. Howard? Good afternoon.
Hey, 13 total. 2021 FTA on probation for ag battery, ag assault, 17 SC 153-308. She don't have any other violence. I know it's bail restricted. The level was 2, based on the the state bill. You can release through pretrial or the 10%.
Thank you.
Hold on. I gotta get these percentages. Hold on. Based on the calculations, it's a 79% chance she will appear back for court and 71% chance she will remain arrest free. Nothing further.
Good afternoon, Ms. Williams. Is this your case?
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon to you. This is a July 1st, 2024 incident date where Alpharetta PD responded to a dispute in progress at room 232 of the Extended Stay America Hotel, located at 1950 Rock Mill Road. When arrived, he spoke with the defendant first, who stated that when she arrived to the hotel room, there was an argument between herself and her boyfriend, the victim, Mr. Dante White Jr. Defendant said that Mr. White slapped her and then she pushed up on him following an argument about who was going to pay for the hotel room. She said that they got in a scuffle and she hit him upside the head with my hand. She also said that the victim threatened to shoot and kill her and that he had a weapon. She stated he went outside and that's when she believes he called 911. He then came back for his bag and left. The officer then spoke with Robert Daniels, who was a witness to the incident and is also the victim's younger brother. The witness stated that he saw the two arguing about paying for the room when the victim, Mr. White, told the defendant, "You can get your stuff and go." And then once he said that and began to grab her bags, that's when she hit him on the head and just kept hitting him. That's what the witness advised. He also advised that the victim, Mr. White, did not hit her back. Other responding officers then made contact with the victim outside the hotel, where he advised that he was hit in the face after the defendant got upset when he told her to leave and that she pushed him up against the wall, causing his head to bleed. He then left the room and called 911, and when he returned back into the room, she closed the door and pulled a knife on him. There was a laceration on his left cheek, lacerations on his scalp, and a laceration on his right lower arm. The victim and the defendant do reside together. There's also a conviction, Your Honor, for aggravated battery and aggravated assault. Different victim, but that is under 17 SC 153308, and that is also involving a knife, Your Honor. The state recommends a $2,500 good bond, no further contact with the victim, Mr. White, and a stay away from the incident location, as well as no drugs, alcohol, or weapons.
What is the alleged victim's first name?
Dante, Dante. Last name Wyche, and he is a junior.
Mr. White is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity to do so. Ms. Atai?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 40 years old. She has lived in Georgia all her life. She was born and raised in LaGrange, Georgia. She earned her GED and is gainfully employed at CNS Meat on United Avenue, where she's worked for years. Your Honor, she does firmly deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. You can see in the warrant that she told the officers that he slapped her, he was the first aggressor, and also threatened to shoot and kill her. She tells me again that he was the first aggressor. He was threatening her life and she was defending herself, Your Honor. The warrant also reflects that he told her to get out and was using force in grabbing her things, to get her out of the hotel where they were staying. She's fine with no further contact and a stay away from that extended stay. She would need a one-time law enforcement escort. As Mr. Howard said, she is recommended for a bond through pretrial services, and I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services in this case. I understand there is history, but that conviction was 7 years ago. She did her time for that, and it was a long time ago, Your Honor. So and she hasn't been arrested since 2021 was an FTA. So I don't think that she has any violence since that incident 7 years ago, or the conviction 7 years ago. And I'm not sure when that incident happened. It was definitely even longer than 7 years ago. So I would ask for the signature bond through pretrial services, stay away from there, and no further contact with this complaining witness is fine. I think she does plan to get a restraining order on him and a one-time law enforcement escort, nothing further.
So what you're talking about, is that aggravated battery that she's on probation for, Ms.
Oh,
Atai?
yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and you're saying to me that was more than 7 years ago?
Oh, well, the conviction was 7 years ago. Certainly the incident date was more than 7 years ago.
Okay,
Your Honor, it looks like it was 2/14 of 2023 when the final disposition of this case. February 14th, 2023.
okay, of the case, the aggravated battery.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay,
Like,
Your Honor,
For
that
both
was,
aggravated battery and aggravated assault.
right. I guess my question is, she is actively on probation for that charge at the present time, regardless of when it happened. Right?
Yes.
Yes, Your
Okay,
Honor.
thank you. As such, if it has to be per judge, it will still be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2, 1-day anger awareness, no further contact with the alleged victim, stay away from the American Hotel, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. Boyd.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good day. All right, thank you, Judge. Have a
All
good one.
right, y'all take care.
As well.
Good afternoon, courtroom two. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. If you have an objection to your case being heard by video, please let me know when you come before me. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to have an attorney present at these proceedings. We are providing you with the assistance of a public defender this afternoon if you choose to utilize their services. Who do we have in courtroom 2?
We have position number 2, Mrs. Brown.
Okay,
Two
Ms.
was
Brown is
bored.
position number 3 on my calendar.
I'm sorry, position 3. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, you're fine. I just want to make sure we have the right person. Good afternoon, Ms. Brown. You've been charged in case 24 CR 004318E with battery. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
Third arrest, 2014 damage to property. 2021 disorderly conduct. She don't have any other violent arrests. Hold on for a minute. She has 84% chance of appearing and 80% chance of remaining arrest free.
And what's the recommendation?
Level 1.
Okay.
Your Honor.
Yes, Ms. Williams, go ahead. No, you're fine, go.
This is a May 17th, 2024 incident date where Corporal Brown was dispatched to 3400 Inner Loop Road in Hateville, Georgia, in reference to a physical altercation that occurred there. Upon arrival, he was met by the complaining victim, Miss Kirsten Brown, Kirstin, who advised a situation earlier in the day arose involving her coworker, the defendant, and that they had got into it with the manager. The incident started issues between the two, and a little bit later, when all of the employees were Leaving and clocking out of the building. While in the parking lot, the defendant confronted the victim in an aggressive manner, also accompanied by her twin sister, Talia Brown, who had arrived to pick her up from work. The defendant, Shalia Brown, approached the victim shouting loudly and then began to throw punches. In defense of herself, she began to fight, and Miss Kirsten Brown, the victim, was said to have been struck several times by the defendant. And while the victim was on top of the defendant, that is when the defendant's sister, Talia Brown, began to participate, pulled out a can of pepper spray and sprayed the victim in the eyes. And while exposed to the pepper spray, she was also kicked in the head several times by Talia Brown. The defendant and her sister got into a vehicle and left the scene at that point. Officer observed injuries, including a lump on her forehead. There were also several witnesses, Clarence Phillips, Isaiah Thomas, and Edwin Moore, who completed witness statements as well. And all statements supported the victim's recollection and placed the defendant and her sister as the aggressors in this case. The recommendation is a $2,500 good bond, a stay away from the incident location, and no further contact with the victim, as well as no drugs, alcohol, or weapons.
What's the victim's last name, alleged victim?
Brown, regular spelling.
Okay, so it's Kirsten Brown or Kristen
Yeah.
Brown?
Kirsten, Kirstin.
If Ms. Kirsten Brown is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so.
I'm here.
Okay, and if you would like to address the court, ma'am, I'll need for you to unmute yourself, activate your camera, and I'll have to swear you in. You're already unmuted. Can you activate your camera?
Okay, I'm trying. Post to act. Okay.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give before the court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, what would you like to tell the court? You
Oh, sorry. It was I am showing my job for the incident because she was supposed to get sent home. I'm the manager. I was actually her manager at the time of the incident. So I am suing my company for not sending her home for the altercation she got into earlier that day, leading to our altercation. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. And I did send over the damages that I had from my eye, my hair being pulled out, and I have to go back in a couple weeks from the headaches that I had from the hairline fracture.
All right, thank you for being here this afternoon, Ms. Brown. Mr. Ty?
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 28 years old. She has lived in Georgia for almost 10 years. She was gainfully employed at the incident location. She does not work there anymore. This incident allegedly occurred almost 2 months ago. She was interviewing for a job at the airport when she found out about the warrant during the badge training, and she turned herself in yesterday, Your Honor. She is not a flight risk, as you heard from Mr. Howard. She's recommended for a pretrial bond at level 1. Your Honor, she does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. She states that the complaining witness was the first aggressor. She states that she has photos of the injuries that she sustained on that day, bruises to her knees, her elbow, and she also had a black eye. She has very little criminal history, Your Honor, or I don't think there was anything violent, and she is recommended for a signature bond at level 1. I would ask for a signature bond at level 1, and she's fine with no further contact and a stay away. Nothing further.
A $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1, 1-day anger awareness, no further contact with the alleged victim, stay away from the incident location, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to both of you, Ms. Browns. Who do we have next?
Position number 14, Ms. Riggins.
Okay. And Courtroom 2, is it possible to adjust your camera or have everyone sit up straight for me? I can only see the tops of the heads. Okay, great, very good. I want to be able to see who I'm talking to. Good
All right,
afternoon.
they were just under the table a little too much.
Okay, all right, thank you. I appreciate it. Good afternoon, Ms. Riggins. You've been charged in case 24 CR 004320A with simple battery. Is there a history? Mr. Howard?
Yeah, first arrest, jail was the recommendation. Hold on. Get an order. Just come back to me. I was gonna
Okay.
give you the percentages, but it's loading slow.
Okay, good afternoon, Ms. Desiano.
Good afternoon, Judge. This incident occurred June 30th, 2024 at the Hilton Garden Inn Hotel at 3437 Bobby Brown Parkway in East Point. Officers responded to a dispute. Upon arrival, they made contact with the victim, Lamont Hall, who stated that he and the defendant were arguing and she pushed him. There were no injuries. Our office has been in touch with Mr. Hall. He states that the parties do not live together. However, they've been in a relationship and the defendant is currently pregnant with his child. He states that there is no DV history. He's not afraid of her. He called the police because he wanted her to leave. He didn't intend for charges to be pressed and he would like to continue contact. Judge, the state's requesting an SOB through pretrial, no further violent contact with the victim, taking complete 1 day of anger awareness, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. And if we could sound for Mr. Hall.
Mr. Lamont Hall is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity to do so.
Hello?
Yes, is this Mr. Hall?
Yes, sir.
Okay, hold on, Mr. Hall. First I need you to raise your right hand for me.
Yeah.
Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can place your hand down and stay steady for me. Don't walk around, okay?
Okay.
All right, what would you like to tell the court?
First of all, Your Honor, I never called the police. She had called the police to get me out the room because we got into a verbal argument and she wanted me to leave and I refused to leave. She called the police and I told the officer and I told the lady earlier on the phone, she never put her hands on me. And I told them if I'm supposed to be a victim of the case, I never wanted any charges to be pressed. I ain't wanted to go. I ain't want her to get arrested or anything. So I never called the police and I never told anyone she put her hands on me.
Okay, thank you for being here this afternoon, Mr. Hall.
You're welcome.
Who's representing?
I am, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Ms. McLeod.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. My client has never been arrested before in her life. She's the mother of 2 minor children, and she has another one on the way. She works in healthcare. I would ask the court for signature on for my client to the jail so she can get out of jail and go and take care of her 2 children. The alleged victim has spoken, and what he says lines up with what my client said, that she did not harm him in any way. She just asked him to leave the room. Nothing further, Your Honor.
$2,000 signature bond through the jail, no further violent contact with Mr. Hall, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Thank you.
Good luck to you, Ms. Riggins. You're welcome.
Next, we have position number 15, Ms. Rivera.
Good afternoon, Ms. Rivera Johnson. You've been charged in case 24 CR 004323E with simple battery family violence. It's your history.
2022 battery dismissed. Jail was the. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, 2022 battery dismissed. Jail was the recommendation. This thing keep loading slow. You can come back to me.
Okay.
What's going on?
Good morning, Your
Honor.
Or afternoon, Tiffany Adams representing Ms. Rivera Johnson.
Okay, good afternoon, Ms. Adams.
Good afternoon.
Ms. Desiano?
Your Honor, this incident took place May 12th, 2024. Officers were dispatched to 819 Plainville Drive in Atlanta regarding a domestic dispute. The victim, Deval Rivera, stated that his daughter was trying to fight his other daughter who was paralyzed. And when he intervened, the defendant spat on him, kicked him in the stomach, and poured lotion on his back. Our office has been in touch with the victim. He states that they do not live together. The incident location is his his address. He states that there is a DV history. The last incident involving this defendant and this victim was when she keyed up the defendant's car and cost nearly $4,000 in damages. He states the defendant has anger issues and blames everyone when things don't go her way. He confirmed the events in the warrant. He states he wants a no contact, anger management, and a stay away from his residence, which again is the incident location. Your Honor, pretrial did say that she had a prior battery that was dismissed. It was with the state court and it was dismissed because she successfully completed diversion. But notably, the victim in that case was the paralyzed sister that she's alleged to have tried to attack in this case as well when the dad intervened. So I just ask that the court take that into consideration when determining bond. The state is requesting a $2,500 surety bond, no further contact with the victim, stay away from the incident location, taking complete family violence intervention program, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol out on bond. And if we could sound for Mr. Rivera.
I see Mr. Rivera there. Mr. Rivera, if you would like to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. I'll need for you to raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, you can place your hand down. What would you like to tell the court, sir?
I would like to ask the court to get my daughter help. This is the second incident with myself and her within 365 days of a calendar year that has happened. Every time my daughter has said what she's not going to do, she's very disrespectful. She's very angry. Everything is always someone else's fault. And a lot of times she get this pass where she gets to escape from what she should be punished for. Of course, my other daughter is on the line and she's probably going to say that she don't want to press charges because they buddy now. But it's like she always gets a pass for what she should be punished for. And it's time that stops. I'm not saying I just want my child locked up or anything like that, but that spitting is very nasty. She did heavy damage to my car. And I was a day out of surgery. So my stomach was still bleeding. And I was just trying to stop them from fighting because I did not know something had occurred 24 hours before. That's what they're not telling you. They had got into it. The police just didn't get involved. And the next day, me being at home, blind to what's going on, Daisha came to take a bath. I let her in. At the same time, my other daughter came home. That's when they began to fight. And I got in the middle. So me being hurt, trying to look, just calm down. You go home. This her house. Now Daisha's spitting on me, throwing lotion on myself and my other daughter. She's not going to admit it, but I'm telling you what happened. She's spitting on my daughter. She's spitting on me. She throwing lotion. She jumped out the shower butt naked. And her kids were sitting there watching the whole thing. Daisha needs help. She needs some help. She needs some help. And that's all I really have to say.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Rivera. And let me just say that this is just a bond hearing today, so this will be proceeding in the regular course of cases, but it's a bond hearing today, and there's a limited amount that can be done. But we appreciate you being here today, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Ms. Adams?
Yes, Your Honor. As stated, his daughter that he states is paralyzed. She's not. She's on the call. Chantel Watson is the name that shows under her name where she is. I spoke with her this morning and she does not have any charges. My client wasn't charged with any physical altercations with her. She was there when the police arrived and told them what occurred between those two. So I actually just strike those comments from the record. Also, she can be heard and can tell the court. And what I like to say is we'll accept a no further contact for Mr. Rivera, but he resides in the home that belongs to Miss the sister Denisha. Johnson, and so they will want to visit each other. So a stay away would basically keep her from seeing her sister. She's not a victim in this case and doesn't have any charges to bring forth. So we just ask that the stay away be from the father and not that address, as that is not his home. Although he does reside there, he's not there 24/7, as Ms. Johnson is her home, and she does want her sister to come and visit her and assist taking care of her when the dad is not there. As far as the bond purposes, Ms. Rivera Johnson, as you heard, she had one previous case that was dismissed after she completed diversion. She doesn't have any other convictions or anything on her record. She is the mother of 2 minor kids and will be starting a job on Monday at Walmart. So financial means are limited. So we like to ask the court, if you do not consider a signature bond in this case, to consider setting bond at $1,500.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Rivera, you wanted to say something else to the court?
Yes, sir. Miss Adams, this house, Your Honor, is I got this house for my daughter. I went through the step up program and all the programs necessary to get my daughter this voucher for this home. The only people supposed to be in this home is myself, Denisha, and 2 other kids. Chantel Watson, Daisha, all her kids, everybody is living downstairs and they're making this house uncomfortable. So Daisha has been living here. She just got fired from Walmart. And Miss Adams is a personal friend of her mother's. I know Miss Tiffany Adams. She's a personal friend. She has also represented me before. The facts she's speaking on are not true. Daisha just got fired from Walmart for fighting another employee at Walmart.
Okay, I'm gonna let you all work this out. I'm just really trying to figure out the household, Mr. Rivera. So you live in that household?
Yes, I do. I'm on. I was a part of the voucher, and yes, I am.
Okay.
I'm Denisha's caregiver. I am her caregiver, but my caregiving is being interfered with the other people downstairs. The reason Daisha got arrested yesterday because they tried to jump me.
What is downstairs? Is it downstairs in the same
Yes,
house?
it's a 2-level house. It's a 2-level house, but Denisha sleeps downstairs for easier access in and out the house. So Denisha sleeps downstairs, but the only people supposed to be in here is myself, Denisha, her 2 kids. Now we have 6 other people here. And the reason, like I said, she got arrested yesterday is because they tried to jump me. That's
Okay,
why she got arrested yesterday.
Again, I'm still trying to figure out. Daisha, is it Daisha Rivera Johnson? Is that
No,
the
that's Daisha Rivera Johnson is who's in custody. Denisha Johnson is my other daughter who's in a wheelchair.
Who's the voucher, who has the voucher for the home?
I got that voucher for her, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm just trying to again figure out now where does Daisha live?
Around the corner.
A different
around
address.
the corner.
I can provide that address if you stop.
At a different address. Okay. That's
Yes.
all I need. That's all I need to know. So
yes, in Forest Park address.
okay, thank you. So it's going to be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1, 1-day anger awareness, no further contact with Mr. Deval Rivera. She is also to stay away from his residential address, which I think is the Plainville Drive address. If she wants to see her sister, I think that they can make arrangements somehow through a third party to see each other outside of the home. So she can't be in the home, but I'm not going to keep her from seeing her sister, I guess, outside of the home if they're both adults and they choose to do so and make those arrangements. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck to you all.
Thank you. That completes my business. May I be excused?
Yes, have a good afternoon.
You too. Thank you.
Next time, Sam.
Next, we have position number 16, Ms. Shirley.
Good afternoon, Ms. Shirley. You've been charged in case 24 CR 004326C with willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer and loitering. Is there a history?
7 total. 2024 simple battery. She got an open battery in state court, 24 CR 003350C. It's a $2,500 pretrial bond. 2019 obstruction conviction, 2019 simple battery conviction, 2016 arson first offender. She got 79% appeal rate and 71 arrests free. But I'm surrendering the bond. That's all, Judge.
Your Honor, this incident took place around 1 a.m. on June 30th, 2024. Officers were dispatched to a loitering call at the Sherwin-Williams located at 1797 Washington Road in East Point. Upon arrival, the officers saw 3 individuals sleeping in front of the store. The officers asked for everyone's ID. The defendant was unruly, would not cooperate, and resisted arrest. The state's asking for a $500 good bond on each count, a stay away from the Sherwin-Williams, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol allowed on bond.
Ms.
Your Honor,
Clown?
yes, Your Honor. My client is 36 years old. She tells me that she's currently works in construction. She also tells me that she was actually getting home from work and she was tired. So she stopped at the location in question. She said when the police officers came and asked for her ID, but at the time she tried to get her ID to show to them, they had placed her in handcuffs. My client doesn't have any money to pay for bond, Your Honor, and based on the nature of the offense, I will ask the court to consider giving her a signature bond to the jail. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay. It'll be a $250 good bond per charge, which is a total of a $500 good bond. Stay away from the incident location and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. If she doesn't make bond, the SAP reset date is July 16th.
Thank
All
you, Your
right.
Honor.
Good luck to you, Ms. Shirley. Let's see. And if that's the case, if she doesn't make bond on that SAP calendar, can we put both of her cases? Do you need the?
I see it on the calendar, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Uh-huh.
All right, good luck to you, Ms. Shirley.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, it was, I think there are like 2 charges here, so how?
It's a $250 good bond per charge, which makes it a total of a $500 good bond.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yep.
And the Ms. Chansey, the Spanish interpreter, is on the line. So whenever you all have an opportunity to, I'm not sure how we're going to accomplish the breakout rooms today, but I just wanted to let you know that she's with us. Good afternoon.
Your Honor,
Ms. Chansey.
Okay.
that concludes my business before the court. May I be excused?
Yes, I'll see you next time, Ms. McLeod. Have a good afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Same to you.
Hold on. Next we have position number 17, Ms. White.
Okay. Good afternoon, Ms. White. You've been charged in case 24 CR 004329G with battery. Is there a history?
No history. Oh, sorry. No.
Okay, well, thank you, ma'am. Mr. Howard.
No history. 91% appeal rate and 87 arrest free. Jail was a recommendation. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Your Honor, this incident took place on May 23rd, 2024. Officers responded to 2345 Peachtree Road in Atlanta. The incident location is an alteration business. I Googled that address. I cannot find an alteration business associated with that address, but the incident location is 2345 Peachtree Road. The victim, Lynn Lee, is the owner of the alteration business. She stated the defendant came to her business to pick up some clothes. She had an outstanding bill of $270. The defendant refused to pay the bill and attempted to snatch the clothes away from the victim without paying. The defendant then struck the victim with a closed fist on her left arm, causing bruising and discoloration. The victim also stated that the defendant was making several threats while she was trying to snatch the clothes. Our office has been in touch with Miss Lee. She states that she refused to pay. An argument ensued. She confirmed the offense in the warrant. She was punched. She said the defendant also used her cell phone to hit her in the arm. She yelled for the employees to call the police. She said the defendant stood there for about 45 minutes threatening her prior to police arriving. She stated that she came back into the business and started taking off their wall decorations. She was gone by the time police got there. She said the defendant called her several racial slurs. She is very scared of her. She wants a no contact and a stay away. And that's about it. The state's recommending a $2,500 good bond, no further contact with Miss Lee, a stay away from the incident location, 1 day of anger awareness, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. And if the court can sound for Miss Lynn Lee.
Ms. Lindley is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity to do so. Doesn't appear so. Ms. Kim, good
Yes.
afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. My client is 53 years old. We deny the allegation, Your Honor. She is gainfully employed as a medical education consultant, and she is highly educated. Right now, she completed bachelor's degree at Indiana University for journalism and French. She has done 1 year of master's degree. She's still pursuing. Your Honor, this incident happened about a month ago, more than a month ago, and it's finally coming up. And completely, she denies the allegation. Your Honor, she has been here in Georgia ever since 2012, more than 12 years. And as she is recommended, we would like to request for UJR jail, signature on bond through jail. Thank you.
Did she get her clothes back, Ms. Kim? Does she need a one-time escort?
Uh,
She says she does, so I'll give her a one-time escort.
Well, Your Honor, there's a dispute. The victim altered the clothing and is wanting payment for it, and the defendant's refusing to pay for it. So the victim does have her items at the store. She did ask for guidance on what to do with them, but she does want them to be paid for. And that's what happened with the whole dispute.
That will be a civil dispute, I guess, Your Honor.
Yeah.
It'll be a $2,000 signature bond through the jail, no further contact with Lynn Lee, stay away from the Peachtree Road address, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. White.
Was that through the jail or through?
Through jail.
Jail, thank you. Next we have position number 1, Mr. Austin.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Alston. You've been charged in case 24 CR 004316F with false report of a crime. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
Mhm.
Come on, ladies.
2008 weapons possession. Let me pull this real quick. You said Austin. Hold on. Bond assessment here. Hold on 1 minute, Judge. All right, here we go. Yeah, this is level 1. 84% appear, 80% arrest free.
Okay.
Your
Ms.
Honor,
Williams?
this is a September 7th of 2023 incident date where Officer Ortega responded to the BP Travel Center at 7860 Sonoya Road in Fairburn in reference to an auto theft of a 2013 tan Cascadia Freightliner truck. The defendant stated that his vehicle was stolen while also stating that he was current on the payments. However, the following day, on September 8th of 2023, Detective Henderson made contact with the vehicle's lien holder, which is the First American Title Lending, and spoke with the operations manager there, Miss Tania Waker, who advised that the defendant called that morning after having reported the truck stolen the prior evening. And she advised that the defendant did verify with her that the truck was repossessed and not stolen. The detective also called the defendant back about the possibility of repossession, and he advised the defendant, advised that it was not repossessed and he was current on the payments. The recommendation for this case is a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons.
Hi.
Your Honor, my client is 39 years old. He has lived in Georgia for 30 years. He is the father of two minor children, 2 years old and 11. He has run a trucking business here in Georgia for several years. He's the owner of that company. This is one of his company trucks that was leased by an owner operator. Someone else owns the truck, but it's kind of a complicated lease agreement where he's still listed as the owner. He firmly denies the allegations as stated in the warrant. And even the warrant reflects that he stated that he is up to date on payments. So I would say he's not incorrect in reporting a vehicle stolen if he's up to date on payments, and what's this company? Basically a title pawn company is stating that they told him that it was repossessed. Your Honor, I don't take the word of a title pawn person for it means nothing to me. He does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. I would ask for a signature bond through the jail for my client.
All right, it'll be a $2,000 signature bond through the jail, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Austin.
Next, we have position number 4, Mr. Cox. Mr. Cox. Mr. Cox, come on. Yes.
Good afternoon, Mr. Cox. You've been charged in case 24 CR 004321A with theft by taking. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
11 total. 2024 possession of meth, drug-related objects out of DeKalb County. You got an open theft by taking out of DeKalb with a 2024 case number. Well, he actually has two of them. Got an open case in DeKalb for criminal attempt to commit a misdemeanor. That's a 24 case number. What else? Got an open shoplifting. It's 24 CR 002639 out of Fulton. And another open shoplifting, 23 CR 007660. The level is 2.
Okay.
Your Honor, this is a July 1st, 2024 incident date where Officer Builder was dispatched to 1492 Piedmont Avenue Northeast for a theft call. Once on the scene, he spoke to the caller and manager of the facility there at Atlanta Eagle, Mr. Charles Malug, who explained that the defendant came into the business, went behind the bar, and took 2 bottles of AU vodka, then walked out of the bar and began to run with the 2 items. The security on scene was able to run behind him and caught him, bringing him back to the property. Both bottles were returned, but Mr. Maluk said that he has done this before, meaning the defendant. Upon speaking to the defendant, he admitted to taking the 2 bottles because he comes to the area all the time and cleans the parking lot. He advised that the other businesses pay him for his services, but Atlanta Eagle is the only business that does not pay him. The defendant did confirm that there was no agreement between himself and the business that he would be paid. The state recommends a $2,000 good bond, a stay away from the incident location, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons.
Mr. Ty.
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 29 years old. He has lived in Georgia over 10 years. He did graduate from high school and earn an associate's degree. He does have a good address on Peachtree Street, although I do believe he is residentially challenged. He does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. Other than the part where the 2 bottles were not stolen. He is recommended for a signature bond through pretrial services at level 2, and I would like to ask for a signature bond at level 2 or 1. And a stay away from that location is fine. Nothing further.
So does he have actually 2 open cases for shoplifting in Fulton County? Is that accurate, Mr. Howard?
Let's see one that they got on this bond assessment. Hold on, just let me see. Yeah, I see 2 different ones, but let me look on Odyssey. I have to pull it up.
Okay, and if so, I want to know what the bonds are on those cases. If I was the judge who gave him those previous bonds, I just can't keep giving him signature bonds and having him come back.
It's loading. It's not a letter attached to these case numbers though. Let me see.
And Your Honor, I would just like to point out that legally his name is George, but not with an E at the end, with a D. When I look up his name in Odyssey, the way it is on the calendar, which is correct, although it's not really, he does go by George. I just see this case.
Okay.
Yeah, let me try with an E. Weird.
But with an E wouldn't be his name.
Well, he got 11 total, so I mean it could be an alias. Let me see.
Or we could check the date of birth to make sure that.
You know what? Let me check this GCIC. Hold on.
9294 is the date of birth I have.
Oh, I'm slow. Judge, I'm coming. They updated this computer on Saturday.
And Your Honor, there is an open May 7th of 2024 theft by taking. That is with Dunwoody Police Department. And then there is an open theft by shoplifting, also with Dunwoody Police Department from April 30th of 2024. As well as an open shoplifting from April 2nd of 2024 with APD.
Do you see the name with that arrest?
It's on the GCIC, but when I also tried to look up through with the name George with a D and George with an E, I couldn't pull it up. But this is his GCIC.
So you tell me he doesn't have anything pending in Fulton State aside for this charge.
Well, no. So check this out. When he got arrested May 28th in Fulton, it was under the name Christopher Lewis. So yeah, he trying to get over basically. And I got George. I got a whatever that is, GEROGE. Last name Cox. He was arrested April of this year in the city jail for shoplifting. I don't think that bond over yet. Was arrested in Chamblee for theft by taking. That's the open case I told you about. February 2024 out of Brookhaven got a robbery and a forgery in the 2nd degree. Those were dismissed, not presented to a grand jury. I got another city of Atlanta arrest at the city jail for shoplifting.
It looks like that is open from April 2nd this year.
Just so it looked like the 2 open Fulton counties is come from out of the city jail.
Okay. All right. Ms. Atai, I need for him to have a social worker visit to assist with housing. At the present time, it's going to be a $500 good bond, a social worker visit. Stay away from the incident location and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. If he doesn't get out and comes to the SCA calendar, maybe we can try to resolve these cases at that time, or I will revisit the bond based on what the social worker visit can help me with, okay?
Okay, you're on. I just still am not clear on what open cases he has in Fulton County.
And maybe by that time, we can get that resolved also so that we can get it on a calendar if it's here in Fulton County. So we can take a look at them all at the same time. Okay?
Okay.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Cox.
Next, we have position number 6, Mr. Dewberry.
Good afternoon, Mr. Dewberry. You've been charged in case 24 CR 004324J with criminal trespass and possession and use of drug-related objects. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
Dewberry, 68. Got an open criminal damage to property in Superior Court, 23 CP 222-942. Open shoplifting, maybe the city jail as well. It's 2400002940. On probation, out of DeKalb County for trespass. They gave him 12 months probation as of April this year. I got another 2024 trespass conviction from this year, 2024 failure to appear, 2022 failure to appear, 2020 trespass conviction, 2010 robbery, possession of cocaine conviction. This is level 3. It was 76 and 50. Those were the numbers. The appear and the arrest-free numbers.
Ms. Williams?
Yes, Your Honor. This is a July 1st, 2024 incident date where dispatch advised that there was a dispute with a weapon, which was a stick, in progress at Buddy's, location 1079 North Avenue Northeast, as he was coming up on the location. Dispatch advised that a male would not leave the location, and when he arrived, he noticed Mr. Dewberry by the door and asked him if he was asked to leave, to which Mr. Dewberry replied that he was not asked. However, the cashier, Mr. Al-Massoum, advised he did ask Mr. Dewberry to leave several times and that he was trespassed previously this year on February 2nd of 2024 from that location under case number 2403-31966. That was currently still in effect. Mr. Dewberry was then placed in custody and advised the officer that he had a crack pipe used to smoke drugs, with which had residue on it in his front pocket. The state recommends $2,000 good bond, stay away from the incident location, no further contact with Al-Massoum, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons.
It's a tie.
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 46 years old. He has lived in Georgia all his life. He is currently residentially challenged. He does not have a home and has been homeless for years now. He hasn't had a telephone in 2 years. He does have an address where his mother and grandmother live. And he states that he does receive mail there. He does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. And we have no objection to no further contact and to stay away from that location. Of course, he cannot afford any bond. I understand there are some open cases, but I would still be asking for a signature bond through pretrial services. Although he's recommended level 3, I think that would be really difficult without a phone, and nothing further.
Okay. I don't want to set him up to fail, Mr. Ty, so I do want him to have a social worker visit to assist with housing if necessary. It'll be a $500 signature bond through pretrial level 1 on both charges, makes for $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1, social worker visit, no further contact with the alleged victim, stay away from buddies on North Avenue, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Dewberry.
All right, next we have position number 10, Mr. Osborne.
Good afternoon, Mr. Osborne. You've been charged in case 24 CR 004328C with criminal trespass and one other misdemeanor offense. Is there a history?
29, 29, on probation out of Spalding County. Battery, shoplifting, criminal trespass. Another Spalding County probation for battery, DeKalb County battery, terrorist threats. Got an open giving false name, simple battery out of state court. It's 24 CR 003242C. Two FTAs from 2023, 2021 battery conviction, 2020 trespass conviction, 2020 probation, 2020 battery conviction, another 2020 battery trespass conviction, and 2019 probation violation.
Okay, Ms. Williams.
This is a May 23rd of 2024 incident date where Detective Steidel was assigned of this sexual battery case that happened at the Vine City MARTA station. The detective was able to see on the closed circuit TV footage on May 23rd. He saw the suspect approach him, Alicia Floyd, while you could see he was pulling the trash at the Vine City station. He then squeezed between the victim and the trash can and squeezed the victim's right buttock while passing by. The detective was able to see that the suspect had ample space to not have to squeeze between the trash can and the victim. And subsequently, the detective received phone calls from Officer Howard identifying the suspect. And the case was under 202-396-286. And the aggravated battery incident where he had previously received a permanent ban from the transit system. So the state is asking for a $3,000 good bond on the sexual battery and a $2,000 good bond on the criminal trespass, a continued stay away from MARTA, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons.
Mr. Ty.
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 31 years old. He has lived in Georgia all his life. He was previously homeless and was using a shelter for an address, but states that now he has an address on Palmetto Avenue with his cousin. He does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant, Your Honor. He appeared before Judge Mincy on May 23rd. I'm not sure when the arrest date was, but he was arrested in May and appeared on May 23rd. So I don't know why he was released to a Griffin County hold, Your Honor, but has been incarcerated since May 23rd or May 22nd. I'm not sure when he was arrested. But after he was in Fulton County Jail, he was released to Griffin and has been there taking care of the hold there, and then was brought back here for these warrants, which happened on the same day, May 23rd. So I understand that maybe the warrant was after, but I would say he's been in Fulton County Jail now a second time for something that could have been dealt with on May 23rd when he had a first appearance for incidents that happened on the same date at the same location.
What were those charges? I mean,
it was let me see, a simple battery and giving false name.
Simple battery, and what bond amount did he get at that time?
He did get a signature bond released through the jail, released to the Griffin hold.
Okay. And what you're saying is that he had these charges when he was here at that time, so they should have been all handled that
Yes,
time.
I think so, rather than being released to the Griffin hold. I don't know when Griffin picked him up. And then staying there until, you know, for, I guess, a month and a half, and then being brought back here.
Okay.
Your Honor, so he has been in custody in Fulton County and in Griffin County for going on 2 months, so he cannot afford a bond at all. So I would ask for a signature bond.
All right. Do you have the numbers for those other for the other case? I'm gonna ask Ms. Bridgewater if you'll place all of these on the SAP calendar so we may be able to dispose of them all.
Your Honor, the case number, the one that he had a first appearance on May 23rd is 24 CR 003242C.
Got it.
Get that? Okay. So I'll see him back. Then I would like to see him back on all these charges if he doesn't make bond. It's gonna be $500 good bond for the criminal trespass, $1,000 good bond for the second offense, makes for a total of a $1,500 good bond. Stay away from Marta, no further contact with Ms. Floyd, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. I'll see him back personally on July 16th. All right, Mr. Osborne, good luck to you, sir.
Next, we have on the add-on, number one on the add-on sheet is Mr. Seabrooks.
Good afternoon, Mr. Seabrooks. You've been charged in case 24 CR 004333F with 3 willful obstruction of law enforcement officer charges and 1 other misdemeanor offense. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
16, 2024 probation. I'm on probation out of Clayton County, simple battery. Well, that should have probably timed out on the first. 2023 disorderly conduct, no low. 2023 giving false name, no low. 2015 FTA. I think he got an FTA one out of Roswell. That's all.
So, John, this incident happened on July 1st, 2024 at the West End MARTA station at 680 Lee Street in Atlanta. 2 juveniles, initials DH and SS, flagged down an officer at the incident location and advised the defendant pulled down his pants and exposed himself to him. The defendant also tried to follow the girls out of the MARTA station when they left. It took 3 officers to arrest them because he was stiffening, twisting, contorting his body to prevent from being handcuffed. He also tried to kick the officers. Your Honor, this case.
Excuse me. I just want to make sure that we have his attorney on with us. Who's representing Mr. Seabrooks?
PD Kim is representing him.
She's in a breakout room. Is that, I don't see her on the screen.
Sorry, I didn't realize she wasn't on. I would have said something.
Yeah, she's in a breakout room, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll have to come back to Mr. Seabrooks. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Ms. Desiana. I don't want you to.
That's okay. We need his lawyer here.
I have one other position, position 7, Curtis Henry. Oh, well, actually, no, I'm sorry. I haven't been able to interview him. Henry, he was in felony first appearance. So we don't have anybody.
Yeah, he's still over in felony. We're gonna go grab him now. And Mr. Jimenez, I guess he's still with the interpreter. That's position.
Yeah, so yes.
And then we're waiting for position number 11 because Kim's with the with the interpreter.
Okay, so I think that, so whenever someone comes back, we'll get started again, so.
Okay.
All right, so we'll be in recess until someone's ready to go.
So what are
Your
you going?
Honor, while we have a second, can I ask a question? Is it your understanding under this new law that a signature bond through pretrial is okay, but not through the jail?
Well, in certain instances, yes.
And I just asked because it's my understanding that there's no SOBs anymore through anything with family violence, anything with battery, a second or more criminal trespass, a second or more theft. But then pretrial still recommending pretrial, and I'm just trying to get an understanding of what your understanding is so that I can present cases.
Well, what I have, the judicial officer presiding over the session and may not authorize an unsecured judicial release on those charges unless they are using the following, and one is a pretrial release program.
Okay, so pretrial services would count as a pretrial release program?
My understanding,
Your
yes.
understanding? Okay. Thank you.
That is correct.
Okay, thank you, Ms.
We
Jordan.
are pretrial release program.
Okay,
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you.
okay. Are we all on this? We all on one accord? All right.
So a pretrial through the jail is not authorized on those specific charges.
That's my understanding.
Signature bond through the jail.
Okay, so we
Okay.
can still ask for SOBs through pretrial. We just cannot ask for SOBs through jail.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Is that correct, Ms. Jordan? You correct
Yes,
me if
that's
I'm wrong.
correct.
Okay. Okay, let's see. Ms. Chancey's back, Ms. Kim's back. Are we ready to proceed with, and I guess the clients in medical, Ms. Kim? Ms. Kim back with us? Okay, we'll be in recess until someone joins us is ready.
Who did they go and get it from next door? Just so I know.
They were getting Miss Atai's client, I believe it's position 7 from.
Oh, Henry.
Oh, I apologize. I was also on the phone with another client as well.
Are we ready to proceed with Mr. Jimenez?
Yes, I am.
Okay, that's position number 9. Can we go ahead and do him? And
Yes.
where, okay. And is he in courtroom 2 or is he in medical?
It looks like medical.
Medical. Jimenez is in medical.
Okay. Can we, is anybody in there with him? Can we unmute? Okay, doesn't seem like there's, okay. Yes. Ms. Chance, if you raise your right hand for me,
Yes.
swear affirm that you will translate from English to Spanish and Spanish to English to the best of your ability.
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Jimenez Hernandez, I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. You agree to have your case heard by video?
Señor Jiménez Hernández, yo soy el juez Eric Morrow y es la audiencia de casos de trámite rápido y estoy conduciendo esta sesión a distancia a través de video. ¿Usted está de acuerdo con que se trate su caso de esta manera?
Sí.
Yes.
You have been charged in case 24 CR 004330D with battery family violence.
Usted tiene un cargo de golpes y lesiones, violencia familiar, en su caso que es el número 24CR004330D.
Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
Hay antecedentes, señor Howard.
First arrest level 1.
I'm sorry, Mr. Howard. First arrest.
First,
Okay,
first,
can we mute medical? Medical, can you mute? Thank
all
you.
right. First
Go ahead,
arrest.
Mr.
First arrest level 1. His percentages was at 91 and 80%.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, did you say first arrest in what year, sir?
What was your question?
First arrest, and I couldn't.
First arrest. The release level was recommendation was level 1. It's bail restricted, and the percentages was 91% and 80%.
Thank you, sir. Es el primer arresto. Después fue un nivel 1 de encarcelamiento con un riesgo desde un 91% a un 80%.
Ms. Tessiano?
Judge, this incident occurred July 1st, 2024. Officers were dispatched to 828 Greenhouse Circle in Roswell in reference to a dispute.
Señor, este caso e incidente ocurrió el 1 de julio, donde la policía fue enviada al 828 de Green Circle en Roswell debido a una disputa.
The victim, Teodula Vasquez Hernandez, advised that her husband was drunk and trying to leave, and she tried to stop him when he struck her in the face.
La víctima, señora Teodula Vázquez Hernández, dijo que su esposo estaba ebrio y trató de irse, y ella, al tratar de detenerlo, él la golpeó en la cara.
The officer observed bruising and swelling to the victim's face, as well as scratch marks with dried blood.
El oficial observó moretones con inflamación y también en la cara con raspones que sangraban.
Our office has not been in touch with the victim today.
La oficina nuestra no ha tenido contacto con la víctima hoy.
It is this defendant's first arrest. The state's recommending an SOB through pretrial, no further contact with the victim, stay away from the incident location, taking complete 2 days of anger awareness, and no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
Este es el primer arresto, por lo que se recomienda que está acusado no tenga más contacto con la víctima, se mantenga distanciado de la residencia, que tome un curso de 2 días para el control de la ira y que quede prohibido el uso de drogas, alcohol y armas.
And at this time, if the court could sound for the victim, Teodula Vasquez Hernandez.
Señora Teodula Vázquez Hernández, está presente en la plataforma de Zoom. Por favor, prenda su cámara.
Doesn't appear so. Ms. Kim?
Señorita Kim.
You're on mute, Ms. Kim.
Thank you. My client is 20 years young.
Mi cliente tiene 20 años.
He has been here in Georgia for 3 years.
Y ha estado en Georgia viviendo por 3 años.
He's gainfully employed at a restaurant industry.
Él está empleado en la industria de restaurantes.
He has no objection to stay away and no further contact.
No tiene ninguna objeción de mantenerse distanciado y sin tener contacto con la víctima.
And we have no objection to signature on bond through pretrial level 1.
Y ni tampoco tenemos ninguna objeción por una fianza bajo firma en el nivel 1.
But we prefer signature on bond through jail.
Pero preferimos una fianza a través de la cárcel. Una fianza bajo firme. Corrección.
Nothing further from defense, Your Honor.
Nada más de parte de la defensa, su señoría.
It'll be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1.
Es una multa de bajo firma de $3,000 a través de los servicios previos al juicio en el nivel 1.
No further contact with the alleged victim and stay away from the incident location. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
No debe tener más contacto con la víctima alegada y mantenerse distanciado del domicilio, y queda prohibido el uso de drogas, alcohol y armas durante el periodo de fianza.
Good luck to you, sir.
Buena suerte, señor.
All right. Would you sound for the alleged
Yes.
victim again, Ms. Chancia? Someone
Yes,
joined
Your
us. I
Honor.
want to make sure.
Está presente en la plataforma de Zoom la señora Teodula Vázquez Hernández. Por favor, prenda su cámara y salude, avísenos. Teodula Hernández, Vázquez Hernández.
Hola, buenas tardes.
Hello, good afternoon.
If you would like to address the court, I'll need to swear you in, ma'am.
Si usted desea dirigirse a mí como juez, debe hacerlo de esta manera, señora.
Yeah.
Would you like to address the court?
¿Quiere usted hablar con el juez, señora Vázquez Hernández? ¿Me escucha?
Disculpe, es que no la escuché. No la escuché.
¿Quiere usted, el juez dice, ¿quiere usted hablar conmigo, con el señor juez?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, ask her to raise her. She doesn't seem to
Señora,
have.
hay un eco. ¿Puede ponerse más cerca de donde tenga mejor
mi
contacto?
esposo. ¿Ahora?
Sí, gracias. Go ahead, Your Honor.
Can you raise your right hand for me, ma'am?
¿Puede levantar su mano derecha, señora, por favor, para el juez?
Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
¿Jura que el testimonio que dará ante este tribunal será la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad ante Dios?
Perfecto, lo juro.
Perfect, I do.
What would you like? You can place your hand down. What would
Puede
you like
bajar
to
su mano. Puede bajar su mano. ¿Qué quisiera decirme?
Yo no estoy levantando cargos hacia mi esposo.
I'm not
Ahora sí que fue un
pressing
problema
charges
de alcohol y
against...
todo.
Un momento. I'm not pressing
Simplemente
charges
no lo-
against my husband. I know it was an alcohol issue and all that. ¿Algo más?
Simplemente le estaba tapando la entrada para que no saliera por lo que estaba tomado, evitar un accidente o algo.
I was
Y
just trying
eso
to
fue
stop him from leaving and to avoid an accident of something like that, and that's the truth.
Any further, ma'am?
¿Algo más?
Pues yo para él, yo no pido o sea, nada malo, porque pues es para mí es mi
Señora, no le escucho.
esposo y
Señora,
entonces pues
señora, volvió el eco.
um, para mí está todo.
¿Puede repetir porque hay un
Bueno,
eco?
que yo por ahorita no pido nada para él en contra, nada, para mí todo.
Por ahí-
¿Ahorita me escucha bien?
sí, you say you don't have anything against him. Usted
Ahorita
dijo no tiene nada en contra.
no tengo nada en contra, él es mi esposo. eh, Han sido discusiones como familia nada más, pero cargos ni nada de eso no pienso levantar. Yo simplemente quiero que él salga, llevar nuestra familia normal y hasta ahí.
Well, actually, I don't have anything against him. He is my partner, and it was just a discussion in family. Not going to press charges or anything against him. All I want is that he can get out, and that's it.
Let her know that in the meantime, that I've already ordered that he have no contact with her and that he stay away from their residence.
Yo ya he ordenado que él no tenga más contacto con usted y se mantenga fuera de su residencia y no más drogas, alcohol o armas.
Okay, thank you for being here this afternoon, ma'am.
Gracias por estar aquí esta tarde.
Muchas gracias. Y disculpe,
No le escucho. Sí, diga, por favor.
él
Se corta, se
bajo
corta,
fianza.
se corta.
Disculpe, él va a salir bajo fianza. Él va
Él va a
a
salir
salir
bajo
bajo
fianza.
fianza.
Is he going to get out by paying a bond?
Yes, I've given him a signature bond.
Sí, le di una fianza bajo firma.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Ms. Ch- All right. So, thank you, Ms. Jansen. You'll be in here this afternoon. Do we need, Madam Interpreter, for any other cases today? We can't understand her.
No
So,
podemos entenderla, señora.
okay. All right. Thank you, Ms. Chansey.
You're welcome, sir. Have a good day.
Appreciate your help. You
You're
do the same.
Mi
welcome.
esposo.
Okay, who do we have next?
We have position number 11, Mr. Panday.
Good afternoon, Mr. Panday. You have been charged in case 24 CR 0043328 with battery, family violence, and cruelty to children, third degree. Is there a history?
No. Jail was the recommendation. What'd she say?
Not sure. Yes, Miss Desiano.
Your Honor,
Yes,
this
ma'am.
incident
I see that you're here, ma'am. I'll be with you, okay? Thank you. Go ahead, Ms.
Your
Desiano.
Honor, this incident took place on July 1st, 2024. Officers were dispatched to 780 Gates Lane in Johns Creek in reference to a domestic dispute. The victim, Anshul Pandey, who is the defendant's wife, advised that she asked her husband to open a banking application. He got upset. He grabbed her by the hair, forced her to the ground, and started striking her while she was on the ground. The officer observed 2 bruises on the victim's forehead, bruising on the back of her neck, her left arm, 2 bleeding lacerations from her scalp, and bleeding scratches on her elbow. The victim also advised that the defendant threw her down the stairs. The officer also interviewed the party's child, initials IP. She said she didn't see anything, but she heard everything and heard her father beating her mother. Our office has been in touch with Miss Pandy. She states that she and the defendant are married. They have 2 children together. They reside at the incident location. They do not have a DV history. She's not afraid of him. She said he is normally a calm and supportive husband and father. They both lost their temper. She confirmed the events in the warrant. She stated that she did go to the hospital for some pain, but everything was fine. She wants to continue contact and wants the defendant to return to the residence. The state is requesting, in this case, Judge, a SOB through pretrial, no further violent contact with the victim, taken a complete 2 days of anger awareness, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol out on bond. And if we could sound for Miss Pandy.
This Miss Pandy on the line here under Hanwat. Is that you, ma'am?
Yes, this is me.
Okay, so if you can, would you like to address the court this afternoon?
Yes,
Okay, can you raise your right hand for me, please? I believe it's the other hand.
sure.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you can place your hand down. What would you like to tell the court?
Yeah, means whatever the attorney said it's correct, but it was not like always. It's just a heat of moment. We are in an argument, and it's means for some time I lose my emotions, and at that time I don't understand that what I have to do, and just I call to 911. But it's never happened before yesterday. We are a very nice, happily living family, and right, according to the charges, my daughter and my son, they both are in their rooms after dinner. They are not downstairs that time. So I don't think so means they listen anything. My daughter come down when the cops are there and when we are talking about what happens, what things going on. So means I want him back with us because he is always supportive, and it is just a emotional action from both of us, and my kids are also missing him very badly. So I want him back as soon as possible. And I apologize, means I don't want to take any action against him, and I'm okay with means if he's coming with us. Means we all want him.
Has this ever happened before?
Never means never. Just it's some means there is some urgent work comes, and means I want to go through it, but I'm not able to log in. So it's just a conversation, and just it's become little bit heated because of some argument, but it's not purposely. It's never happened with me anytime, and he's a very good father and a very good husband, and just that's all I wanted to say.
Okay. Thank you for being here this afternoon, ma'am. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 40 years old. They have been here in Georgia for 7 years. He is gainfully employed as
You're on mute, Ms. Kim.
I apologize. We would like to request for signature on bond UJR through jail as he is recommended. So he has no history and no further violent contact. Thank you.
Okay, for the battery, it'll be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For the cruelty, a $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1 makes for a total of a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. 1 day anger awareness, no further violent contact with Ms. Pandy, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. All right, good luck to you both.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good. Your Honor, can we go back to the add-on list? Mr. Seabrooks?
Okay. Let's see, where were we with Mr. Seabrooks?
Starting over
Judge, I
because she
gave you
wasn't
a-
here.
Yeah, I gave you
Oh,
factual basis,
okay.
but Miss Kim wasn't here, so we got to start over.
Okay. Thank you.
May we
Uh,
please request
I've already
for
told Mr. C.
YouTube? I apologize, Your Honor. I didn't mean to interrupt. May we please request for stopping YouTube live stream?
Okay, there's no objection.